All right.
Check.
Now we're testing the levels.
Check.
Now we're testing the levels.
This is epic.
Audacity, if you're listening, I want to check my levels before I start recording. Someone, if a listener knows how to do that, and I'm just being really stupid, please reach out to me, because I don't know. I can't check my levels before I start recording.
I don't check either, dude. I just wing it.
Yeah.
Perfect every time.
Man. Check. Checking levels. I was doing our new voiceover for our advertisement. Eat the Rich, brought to you by Dow Chemical and their family of products.
Nice.
I'm in Biden's cabinet now.
Oh, then you have my unquestioning support on Twitter.
We're doing trivia, right? Is that?
Yeah. Let's do trivia.
I need a pen and paper. I'll just write. I want to be old school. I want a pen and paper.
Yeah, put it down on pen and paper. Yeah, we're gonna do it the same format.
20s. All right. 1 second.
How was work today, dude?
Pretty good. I mean, it's training. It's just like it's the first.
Oh,
week.
yeah, okay. Right.
It's 10 weeks. It's 10 weeks of training, but the first
Holy
week,
shit.
Yeah, obviously is like we're mostly like watch. It's like when they wheel the fucking like when you have a substitute teacher in elementary school and they wheel the TV cart in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. It's like
the AV club.
Yeah. It's like
VCR.
We're just watching videos all week.
What a feeling! What a feeling when that comes in.
It's a great feeling.
Oh, thank God, Mr. Kaplatsky got gastroenteritis so that we could watch fucking some extremely racist World War II.
Yeah, we had at my high school. We had this one. He was like everybody's favorite substitute teacher. His name was Mr. Taylor, and yeah, that was his thing. Like when you saw him walk in, you knew the TV cart was coming in, and he was a he was a reverend. So
nice.
he would wheel the TV cart in, and then he would just sit at the desk and read the Bible or whatever, and like write his sermon and shit like the rest of the class. And
really?
That was just it, yeah. Yep.
Did I talk about this on And Eat the Rich? I don't think I did. I was thinking. I think I was just like ruminating on the pandemic and stuff, and like what are the kind of lasting effects that are going to be caused by it, and the kind of like indelible marks that have been made on us that just won't translate to future generations. Like they won't be able to properly appreciate it. And I remember there was a substitute teacher when I was in like elementary school. So this would have been like late 80s, early 90s. And she was probably in her late 70s, early 80s. Maybe she was older than that. Maybe she was in her mid 80s. A wonderful, wonderful woman. And she was in a wheelchair. And she was in a wheelchair because she, as a child, had polio.
Oh.
And she was around, and that was before there was the polio vaccine. And I just remember thinking back on it now and like ruminating on the kinds of things that, the kinds of cultural implications that we're going to have due to COVID. Like thinking back on it now, what a time capsule that was. That, I knew somebody that was still affected by polio. Now, I mean, we're probably going to see a comeback of polio because of anti-vaxxers next year. But.
Well, and on top of that, returning back to like a recurring theme on this show is our beloved gerontocracy. You saw the Mitch McConnell tweet the other day. He had polio as a kid. I didn't know that. He's a polio survivor.
Fucking way.
Yeah, he's a fucking relic of that. Of that
Jesus.
era. Yeah.
I've never been so disappointed in polio.
I know. At least
do better.
Put him in an iron lung at least. There's still. It's interesting. I saw some video. I think it was on YouTube or something. There's still just a handful of people who are still on iron lungs, who have been on iron lungs.
Wow.
Since like the 50s or 60s or whatever, like their entire lives. And there's like, there's like a very niche market, because like sometimes things go wrong, you need to repair them, you know what I'm saying? There's like it can be very difficult, obviously, when there's like 30 of them out there to get any kind of maintenance done on it, there's no 1-800 service line for like Taylor and Son, Iron Lung Co., Cleveland, Ohio, copyright 1954. It's just like there's just no support for those things anymore. It's like the same thing like car companies that went bust, like Saab. Like there's no Saab dealership you can go. It's just some weird crank that has some very specific views on certain people. But you got to go to him because he's the only guy in town that works on your Saab.
There was a guy I went to film school with. I just remembered who he was like, he had like rich parents, and he at one point he said something like that, it just indicated that kind of like weird out of touchness, right? That like people who grow up in those backgrounds have. I don't know if I've brought this up on the show before, but one time, just like offhand in the middle of telling some other story, he was like, so I talked to my Saab dealer, And like, it kept going on. Like, you know, like you would casually say, I have a personal relationship with a vendor of cars. I don't know. It was a very weird, and we were also like 20 at the time. You know what I mean? So like the idea of owning anything beyond like a fucking dirty pair of jeans was just like beyond the pale to me. But anyway.
Lord. Guys, can you give me a second? I've just got my sob dealer calling me.
I was just reminded of this guy in Richmond, outside of Richmond, in like the West End, like what they call like the far West End, like Short Pump area, like very nice, kind of wealthy area of town. It was a very suburban area, and there was a like I told you, I've always been into like coins and like gold and silver and stuff like that, right? And like buying it and selling it. And there was this guy that owned a coin shop. It was like obviously his shop. He owned it. He was the only person ever in there. And he was like a real right-wing crank. And like, it was very obvious to anyone who entered he had like all sorts of like various, this was like during the Obama years, he had all sorts of like various, anti-Obama, anti-Hillary stuff. Like he had like this Hillary, he had this like Hillary nutcracker where like her legs, like her thighs are like the nutcracker.
That's really weird.
It's weird stuff. And
it's really weird.
What's really funny is he'd always, whenever he'd like sell you the coins, he'd like add the tax to it. He'd be like, yeah, state dick tax. There's nothing I can do about it. It was always funny to me. But like the even funnier part of that is that he would like say he was anti-tax like that. But there was like the other coin shop in town I would go to. They didn't sell me they didn't put tax on like junk silver.
Really?
Yeah. So he'd whine about it, but apparently he didn't have to put it on there.
Give me a second. I got to call Medicaid. So what do we got, Shano? I'm feeling.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it.
I can't tell you how excited I am for this. I fucking love trivia.
I'm glad.
I fucking love science.
Well, as fans of the show will know, recently, in some period past in the moray of time that just days blend into another for our 50th anniversary episode, we did a trivia spot, and Dwight, you came up with a set of trivia questions, and me and Chris ran through them, and I thought that was a lot of fun, and I figured it might be nice to kind of do that again. And so I built out some trivia questions for you guys. I figured we would do the same format where I have 5 sections. Each section has 4 or 5 questions in it. They're multiple choice. And we'll do one section at a time. And so if you're listening at home and you want to play along, you grab a pen and paper. I'll read through all the questions in that section. Then we'll go back to the top and see what your guys' answers are.
Yes.
And unlike Dwight's trivia questions,
they're going to be good.
I specifically targeted them. There's no clams or oysters in this.
Mollusks of any kind?
No mollusks. I specifically tried to look up things that would be of interest to you guys and not my own personal niche interests. So
totally veiled dig. That's cool. I think that's great.
What would a Patreon episode be without a little hidden bitterness? All right, so whenever you guys are ready, if you have pen and paper, we can start it off.
I'm happy to start right after the music. Bow.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The Who Wants to Be a Rich Guy music.
Who wants to be a rich guy?
Well, speaking of music, I think you guys will like this first section, which is bluegrass.
Shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
All right.
So, question 1. Bluegrass, as a distinct musical genre, became popularized in the 1930s and 40s. It has roots in traditional English, Scottish, and Irish ballads and dance tunes, as well as traditional African-American blues and jazz. The question is, where does the genre of bluegrass derive its name from? Is it A, the title of a song written by the colorblind Appalachian banjo player Uncle Dave McCon? B, a Scottish saying from the old country brought by immigrant lowland farmers? C, a famous band called Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys, which popularized the distinct sound? Or D, it is a portmanteau of the African-American genre the blues and wheatgrass, which white folk musicians at the time chewed?
Damn.
All right, you got your answers?
Do we talk it out now, or do we?
I'll just go to the next question. But
solemnly
you guys
put this down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Question 2. Bluegrass is traditionally associated with the rural homesteads of the Appalachian Mountain Range and the South. Which University of Wisconsin and Juilliard graduate whose banjo picking is featured on Deliverance proves you do not have to be a good old Southern boy to pick a mean banjo? Is it A, Eric Weisberg, B, Earl Scruggs, C, Ralph Stanley, or D, J.D. Crowe?
You did your research here. You did your research on banjo players.
As will become evident, I Googled that question.
I'm sorry, can you read those again?
Sure, just the answers, the names?
Please, yeah.
So this is the Deliverance banjo player. Is it A, Eric Weisberg, B, Earl Scruggs, C, Ralph Stanley, or D, J.D. Crowe?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. God, this is just pushing all my good buttons here.
All right, then you're going to like this next question. Question number 3 in the first section. Built in 1941, the Bluegrass Army Depot is a U.S. Army storage facility for conventional munitions and chemical weapons. The facility is located in East Central Kentucky, southeast of the cities of Lexington and Richmond. The nearly 15,000-acre site is composed mainly of open fields and wooded areas. On the premises are stored 474 tons of mustard gas and the nerve agents sarin and VX. The question is, what percentage of the total declared United States chemical weapons stockpile at its height do these 474 tons represent? Is it A, 10%, B, between 1 and 2%, C, less than 1%, or D, 100%?
I'd like to phone the Trailbillies.
I'm sorry. To this day, those chemical weapons are stored there. Is it?
Yes. To this day, there's 474 tons at the Bluegrass Army Depot.
I'll be damned.
Until they used on Black Lives Matter protesters in Portland.
All right, question 4.
All right.
Located at the Bluegrass Army Depot site is the Bluegrass Chemical Agent Destruction Pilot Plant, or BGCAPP, the facility built to destroy the WMD stored there. Although the Army Depot had stockpiled these weapons for over half a century, ground was not broken on the destruction pilot plant until 2006, 14 years ago. The question is, in what year did they actually begin destroying the chemical weapons stockpiled at the plant? Was it A, 2009, B, 2014, C, 2019, or D, they have not destroyed a single chemical weapon as of yet?
I don't see it being a financial crisis priority, but then again, I don't see Obama doing it because they would have just sold it to police departments. And it might have been just something that was on the schedule, but the Trump administration was too dumb to even remember that it was going on to stop it. All right, I got my answer.
This fucking place is like the center. It's like the center of a Tom Clancy novel. You know what I'm saying? Like terrorists. Like this is where the terrorists. Where the terrorists hijack a nuke.
We're gonna do a live show there. As soon as we get that vaccine.
All right, that is it for Section 1 Bluegrass. So let's go through and see what you guys got.
Okay.
So question 1, where does bluegrass get its name from? What did you guys say?
Bill Monroe.
Bill Monroe.
C.
That is correct. It is C, Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys. A native of Kentucky, Bill Monroe founded the Bluegrass Boys in 1938. I'm sure one, if not both of you, know much more about this than I do.
Oh, we love Uncle Pen, don't we, folks? Oh, we love him. Uncle Pen. Oh, that feels good.
Yeah.
This is the best part of my week, is what's happening right now.
Okay.
It's deep sadness.
It's going to take a turn. It's going to take a pretty severe turn if you haven't picked up on that yet already. Okay, so question 2. Which University of Wisconsin and Juilliard graduate proved you don't have to be a good old Southern boy to pick a mean banjo?
A?
That'd be Eric Weisberg.
That is correct.
All right.
He also plays pedal steel, dobro, mandolin, and fiddle. I cannot stress enough, I don't know what any of that means, and I googled bluegrass music trivia questions for this particular one.
No, I didn't. I don't know JD. What's?
J.D. Crowe. Easily, one of my favorite bands was J.D. Crowe and the New South, which
that's like they're like newgrass, right? No.
Like the 70s. No, they were 70s, kind of a bit more
like
traditional
Sam Bush,
roots, but
with Sam Bush and shit. No.
you're thinking of Newgrass Revival.
Okay.
But these guys, listen, these are the names that came out of there. Jerry Douglas.
Yeah.
Tony Rice. Ricky Skaggs. Yeah. Come on.
What the fuck?
Nobody remembers the bass players, so it doesn't matter.
So you're both 2 for 2 then, so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nailed the 2 actual music questions. Okay. So now we're on to question 3. The Bluegrass Army Depot, 474 tons of chemical weapons. What percent of the total U.S. declared stockpile do these represent?
What was C? I did C, whatever C was.
I did B. Was that between 1% and 2%?
Yeah, A was 10%, B was between 1% and 2%, C was less than 1%, and D was 100%. So, Dwight, you had C, and Chris, you had B?
Yeah.
All right.
B.
The answer is B. It's between 1% and 2%. When the United States formally entered into the International Chemical Weapons Convention in 1997, the government declared its stockpile number at 34,300 tons of nerve and mustard agents.
And 1% to 2% is just like, these are things that fell off the shelf.
Right, exactly. And of course, that's the declared number. Certainly, there's
an important
50 times as much of that. But it's still, that's a lot of mustard. Okay, so then the last question here, the destruction of the weapons began at the site in what year? What did you guys have for that?
Hasn't started yet, D?
Yeah, I'm with D, hasn't started.
The answer is actually C. 2019, last year, the static detonation chamber entered the operations phase with the successful destruction of the first mustard agent-filled munition on June 7th. As of 2012, 89% of the total stockpile has been destroyed, the most of which took place at the Thule Army Depot in Utah, which previously had held 42% of the stockpile.
Jesus Christ.
I imagine that, that was just kind of scheduled and planned. Yeah. And like you said, that Trump administration just didn't even notice.
I would imagine it just has like a shelf life in general. I mean,
they've had most of these weapons are from like the mid-century, or earlier. Yeah. Like,
I think we need to make war and riot control just a bit more safer. You just gotta. You don't want anything to go wrong. You wanted to do it right. It's like hunting. You don't want to shoot and maim the deer. You want a kill shot. You can't have protesters, limping in terrible agony.
Shoot him in the leg!
Just aim for the leg. You don't want to hit him in the groin, on the feet. You can be limping. Just hit him in the leg. You can avoid the femoral artery. He's not going to be bleeding down in the street.
All right, so it is,
that was good.
By my count, it is 3-2 with Chris in the lead.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. We like being the underdog, don't we, folks?
Okay, so let's move on now to Section 2, which again was created with your interests in mind, not my own. The First World War.
Okay.
Yes. I love the First World War like Shane does.
Exactly.
I do, not as nearly as much as Shane does, I'm sure.
Okay, so let's start off. Question 1. The First World War was set in motion by the assassination of the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, Franz Ferdinand, in the city of Sarajevo, 1914. The Crown Prince was killed at the hands of a 20-year-old Serbian nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. What was the name of the secret political organization that helped Princip and his friends carry out the assassination? Was it A, the Serbian Front, B, the Red Helmet, C, the Black Hand, or D, the Slippery Fish?
Now, I don't know this, so I'm looking for tells from Chris's face, but he's got a hell of a poker face.
No, I know. Yeah, I know what it, I realized that I gave away that I knew, so I really put on the poker face. when you read the answers.
And Suicide Squad is not an option?
No, but that I should have put that in.
All right, got it. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. Question 2. The Battle of Verdun, 1916, is considered to be one of the bloodiest battles of the First World War, taking place over 9 months with estimated casualties of almost 1 million men killed in the battle. During the initial German offensive, how many artillery shells did they fire in the first 3 weeks? Was it A, 100,000 shells, B, 500,000 shells, C, over 1 million shells, or D, over 4 million shells?
Now, 9 months is a long time.
And again, this question is the first 3 weeks. This is just just on the German side in the first 3 weeks.
It's like just on the German side in the first 3 weeks. It can't be much. What was B? What was the value for B?
B, it was 500,000 shells.
I mean, that's like, it's like 85,000 an hour or something. No, that's not a day. Oh, fuck. Fucking public school shit. All right.
We good? We have our answers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question 3. During the First World War, the Western Allies found themselves fighting against the aging Ottoman Empire, which still controlled much of what we today consider the Middle East. As early as 1916, the British and French empires drew up a secret plan of how to divide the Ottoman territory into distinct client states after the war. What was this secret treaty called? Was it A, the Sir Lawrence Treaty, named after Lawrence of Arabia? B, the George Pontcharre Pact, named after the Prime Minister and President of the countries? C, the Sykes-Picot Agreement, named after the foreign ministers of the two countries? Or D, the Arabian Demarcation?
All right.
Moving on to the next question.
I should read books. Go on.
Question 4. The First World War came to an end formally with the Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919. Prior to that, an armistice was agreed upon in the 11th hour of the 11th day at the 11th month, November 11th, 1918. The armistice was signed between the Western Allies and their last remaining opponent, the German Empire, at the small French town of Compiègne. Where specifically was the armistice signed? Was it A, in a French train wagon, which had been used to transport troops? B, the City Hall of Compiègne, which had until now been used as a German headquarters? C, Vivian de Gagné, a provincial butcher's shop outside of the town? Or D, the private residence of Jamy de Janco, a local community leader and smuggler who had connections with both sides of the conflict?
You fucker. Oh, Jimmy.
There's some easy gimmies in this, in terms of obvious wrong answers. I would say.
Literally the first one that I've noticed.
Okay. All right. Question 5.
Okay.
Oh boy.
The end of the First World War marked a period of great uncertainty for all of the powers of Europe, even the victorious ones. The British Empire soon found themselves mired in an insurgency in their colonial possession of Ireland. The War of Irish Independence, which lasted from 1919 to 1921, saw fighters on both sides who were veterans of the First World War. The British relied heavily on a paramilitary force they built just after the war, pulled from these World War I vets. Officially designated as part of the Royal Irish Constabulary, these recruits earned a particular nickname. What was the nickname of the paramilitary police force the British used? Was it A, the Flanders Boys, B, the Up and Ups, C, the Free Corps, or D, the Black and Tans? All right, that is it for section number 2, so get your answers in, and we will go back to question 1. Gavrilo Princip, what was the assassin of Franz Ferdinand? What was the name of the political organization who aided the assassination?
It's all you, Chris.
It's the Black Hand.
Yes!
That is correct. It is C, the Black Hand.
I only got that because it sounded cool.
Wait, you didn't say, you gotta say your answer first. You could have just lied.
I'm not. He's an honest man. He's an honest.
Okay.
I was gonna make him say it first until he put it.
Oh, okay. You could. Okay. That's fair.
All right. So on to question 2. So that's now it's 4-3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. 4-3.
I'm dumb.
Question 2. The Battle of Verdun. How many artillery shells were fired by the Germans in the first 3 weeks? What'd you guys say?
Can't imagine it's more than 500,000. 500,000.
I said over 1 million, C.
The correct answer is D. Over 4 million shells were fired.
How?
33.5 munitions trains per day were on a regular cycle to deliver ammunition to the front. Overall in the battle, it is estimated somewhere between 40 million and 65 million shells were fired by both sides, many of which are still in the ground to this day.
You just think about, like, what what human effort could have been used to build 40 million something else and not like, permanently destroy pieces of Europe and countless of 17-year-olds.
There's a lot of sections there and obviously in other conflict zones where there's still like unexploded ordnance in the ground. Interestingly, I think in a number of different places, they use like special rats to sniff out unexploded ordnance.
Really?
Yeah, they like train these like giant rats to like go out into like minefields and like unexploded shell things to like sniff out where the things are so they can dig them up.
They use those in New York too to train some Ninja Turtles. Sorry.
Okay, let's go to
I'm using humor to distract from the fact that I'm dumb in this section.
Question 3. The secret treaty between the British and French to divide up the Ottoman territory was called what?
I'm gonna go with Sykes-Picot.
Yeah, that's what I picked too, but I'm not 100%.
You guys are both correct. It was the Sykes-Picot agreement. It was not made public until the communists took over in Russia and the Soviet Union published all the secret plans and treaties of the Allies.
As they should.
And it's still the lines, the kind of arbitrary lines that were decided then, still constitute the borders of a number of those countries, including Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Iraq, not to mention Palestine, which then inevitably was granted by the British to become the Israeli state.
Everything was fine after that, my understanding is. Yes.
Okay, so now question 4, the armistice at Compiègne. Where was it signed?
Chris?
Yeah, it's the train car. It's A. And I think you're probably about to explain the additional significance that train car has.
Well, if you recall it, you can go for it.
No,
the train car is correct. Dwight,
I'd rather not discuss. I can't read what I
wrote. Okay.
The train car is the same train car when Hitler invaded invaded France and took Paris. He made the French sign, what do you call it?
The armistice surrender.
Yeah, the surrender, papers of surrender or whatever. Yeah, he took them to the exact same train car and made them do it there.
They made them drag it out of storage and in fact put it in the same spot in the woods in Compiègne.
That is fucked.
Which shows, and I think that's interesting. It shows how much the fascist mindset is built on this like trauma of war and wanting to relive the surrender and like undo it in some manner. Okay. So, question 5, the British paramilitary force that was comprised of World War I vets used in Ireland was called what?
I'm going to go with Black and Tans.
It is the Black and Tans, I think.
That is correct. It is the Black and Tans, which was named after the color of their caps, as they were sort of irregularly organized troops.
I know this, I have to say, I only know this, Shane, because you already explained this to me in Philadelphia.
If you spend a week at my house, which you have, Chris, you have a leg up in pretty much all the remaining sections of this trivia.
God damn it.
Okay, so now it is, what is it then, 5-3? Do I have it right?
What, for this section alone?
No, I have...
No, in total.
I have 7.
I've got 5.
Right, so it's 5. 2, Chris is 2 up.
Yeah, 7
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now we are moving to section 3, which is provisions of the 1648 Peace of Westphalia.
Fuck.
No, just kidding. This is clams again.
What?
No.
Yes, it is. It's clams. This section.
No.
All clams. Okay. So let's start off. Question 1. The delicacy known as Rocky Mountain oysters is served all across the Western Hemisphere, from Canada to Argentina, where it is known as criadillas. Don't let the name fool you. This meat dish is not from the sea at all, but is in fact the unskinned testicles of which animal? Is it A, duck, B, pig, C, bull, or D, goat?
Pig poop balls.
By the way, I should mention on this and some of the later sections, Carrie helped me quite a bit, and you might be able to detect the level of intoxication as we go through the various questions.
Oh man!
Question 2 in the clams section: In the early 1900s, clam juice was a popular beverage in the United States.
Sick.
It was primarily used as an ingredient to prepare a variety of different beverages, including hot clam soda, hot ginger clam broth, and the clam nightcap.
This is to go with the fucking hot dog in the gelatin bowl that we discussed like a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
During this time, in the early 1900s, it was also advertised and sold as a tonic for what ailment?
This is the clam juice. So the
clam juice. Okay. Clam juice was advertised as it was be able to cure the following ailment.
Okay.
A, impotence. B, a hangover. C, rickets. D, polio. Or E, the common cold.
All right.
We got our answers?
Yeah, I'm feeling good about that one.
Yeah, all right.
Me too, actually.
This is my territory. So.
We're back on clam turf. Yep. Clam City, baby. Population Dwight. All right.
Okay. I'm mostly laughing at how much this is tickling Dwight.
Oh, it's good. It's real good. Love the bivalve.
All right. Question 3 in the clam section. There are over 12,000 species of clams, and counting, which in my opinion is far too fucking many. Going into every species of clam is outside the scope of this paper. Many sick, depraved individuals have made it their business to eat different varieties of poor, defenseless clams who never hurt nobody anyway. Of the following common clam species, which is typically considered inedible?
Ooh.
Is it A, Gould's razor shell, B, the Atlantic jackknife clam, C, the spoot clam, or D, the duck clam?
David Spoot.
I watch Fox News sometimes now, and I see him from time to time. Brings back.
God, he's got a great.
Brings back old memories. Yeah, David Spun. Yeah, he does.
David Spun.
He's got a voice for broadcasting. What can I say?
God, it really does. Too bad he's a douche.
David Spun, come on the show so we can insult you to your face.
Yes.
The entire interview will just be, is that really your name?
The thing about him, though, is, and like you can make, of course, I also make assumptions about whatever his politics may be because he's on Fox News, but he's just like, he's never given any sort of political opinion on Fox or on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? He's just like a straight reporter.
Plain guy.
Yeah.
Just the facts.
Farina.
Just the facts. Those are the no spin zone.
Mm-hmm.
Just
doesn't diminish the
hot
fact.
Clam juice.
The spunt zone.
The spunt zone. The no spunt zone. All right. Moving on to the fourth and final question in the clam section. The naval shipworm, a species of saltwater clam, was once considered a blight upon the wooden sailing vessels of the pre-industrial age.
Ooh.
This burrowing clam's appetite for seabound wood and chaos is insatiable. The shipworm's arrival in San Francisco Bay around 1920 heralded great destruction to the piers and wharves of harbors. In the 19th century, Dutch scientists attempted to deal with this destructive clam and experimented with a variety of countermeasures that could be used to treat the wood on the ships. Out of the following experimental methods, which was the one found to have a lasting effect at deterring these monstrous worms masquerading as clams that have ruined my life? Is it A, creosote tar, B, linseed oil, C, powdered glass, or D, covering the wooden pylons with precisely arranged iron nails?
Fuck, this is a good question. I'm like peak stimulation right now. Like,
yeah, the
total alpha waves going through my noggin.
The criteria that you'd have to use to evaluate that. Like, I'm very curious.
Let me tell you what I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right, go. Okay.
I've already got my answer. Let's hear through your thought process.
I have no idea what the answer is.
just the joy of the question itself.
Okay.
Well, this is a bit.
You're stunned. You're wordless.
Oh, it's fascinating shit. Because I was literally doing some research earlier this week on ballast water and how deleterious it's been for the Great Lakes, and the introduction of the zebra mussel, which is devastating the biome there. And with shipping, bringing these invasive species everywhere, it's very much a problem, and there is an economic cost even to the traders that are committing the issue at the same time. This is doing everything for me. I am stimulation.
Yeah.
Like absolute 100% mental arousal right now. That being said, I think I have no idea what the fuck this is.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with I got an answer. Okay.
Do you need me to read them again, or you have a sense?
No, I literally am going to be dreaming about them for the rest of the night.
Okay. All right. So all the answers are locked in. Maybe we could get a sound effect here and of like just like a bunch of locking sounds. Whatever. Yes. All right. Let's see what you guys came up with for the clam section. Question 1. Rocky Mountain oysters are the testicles of what animal?
That's a bull.
Yeah, it's a bull. This is the only one I actually knew out of all of these.
That is correct. They are specifically bull testicles. Sorry, Carrie walked in just at that second. And it threw off. I had like a whole thing written here that she helped me with. Don't confuse them with cattle testicles. This piping hot plate of bull testicles is known among those who love it as cowboy caviar, Montana tendergroins, dusted nuts, swinging beef, or simply mountain oysters.
I say, I'll pretty much try any food, I guess. But goddamn, I don't know.
I used to say that, but no,
I really would have taken both of you for having eaten this disgusting product.
No, I wouldn't eat shit like that. Why would you take me as
You guys like all kinds of disgusting shit, rare steak.
I'm not particularly adventurous. It's just that you eat.
Did you say disgusting shit like steak?
It's like all you eat is like hot dogs and like Tostitos, though. So like anything other than that seems adventurous. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
So I call pizza rolls Shano oysters. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not particularly adventurous.
Do you slice it or do you just like bite into it and then just there's this explosion of liquid? Like I don't know. I guess I haven't really looked into how to prepare it.
I saw a Top Chef program where they had to cook with Rocky Mountain oysters, and the conclusion was it was disgusting, and like why would anybody ever do this? But apparently it's from Canada to Argentina. They eat it. I don't know.
All right. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna knock it. I'm not gonna try it.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Sickos. Just freaks, man. Next question. Next answer.
Speaking of sickos and freaks, clam juice was purported to be a cure for what ailment?
I put impotence.
Oh.
I don't know though.
I've used it before for a hangover.
Really?
Dwight is correct. It has been advertised and sold as a hangover cure. The Everlay Club, a former brothel in Chicago, Illinois, that was in operation from 1900 to 1911, would serve iced clam juice and a tablet of aspirin as a starter for breakfast, which began at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's a big night. That's a big night.
You gotta suck down some cold clam after that.
I'll have it for a michelada. For, with tomato juice and beer and clam juice. Fucking party on. That'll give you heartburn, but it'll help your hangover.
All right. Question 3. Which of the following common clam types is considered to be an inedible? I'm
going to go with the duck clam.
That's also what I put, yeah.
That is correct. The duck clam, considered inedible by most, is just as fucking disgusting as any other clam that you'd want to eat. I don't know why you'd want to eat any of these. If you do, you're a sick piece of shit.
You made up the Atlantic jackknife.
No, the other three clams. The other three clams are all real, common, edible
I thought
clams.
you made up the spoot.
No, the spoot clam is a real clam. The second I saw spoot, I was like, I'm making a whole question about spoot. Let's go.
That's good. Oh, that's good. All right.
Okay. So now it's Chris is 1 up, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got with the last question, the one.
Oh right, yeah. There's one, the final question, the one that provided so much joy for you.
After this, I have nothing left to look forward to for the rest of the year. So there's a lot riding on this.
The naval shipworm, which is the destructive wood-eating clam. Dutch scientists tried a variety of methods. What was the method that they found had the most lasting effect?
So it's wood, right?
It's a way to treat the wood. Yes.
I'm gonna creosote. I don't know. And the nails wouldn't do it, and that would be drag on the ship's hull, so that wouldn't make sense. And what was the C? What was C?
Powdered glass.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm gonna go with linseed oil.
Okay.
I was between the linseed oil and whatever that tar was in the first one, and I went with the tar.
Because I know linseed oil is to treat wood. You can use it like on your drum shells.
Yeah, but if I figured that if it was going to be underwater, like tar seemed like the one that would stay on there, right?
I know. Shit. I want to change. I'm going to stick with it.
Are you allowed to change? I guess there's no rules.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Okay, all right, fine.
All right,
fine.
Go ahead.
All right. Chris is correct. It is creosote tar. I just copy-pasted a whole paragraph from Wikipedia in here. I don't think I'm going to read this. I don't even know what creosote tar is.
I don't. We can do. I didn't even remember. I just said that tar shit.
But yeah, they put the tar on the wood. It kept the clams off for a little while, at least. All right. Okay.
Nice.
So we are on to section 4, the penultimate section, and I guess Chris is back up to what, 2 ahead? What's the total score you guys have so far?
I'm on 8 right now, which is pathetic.
Yeah, I got 10.
Okay.
All right, I got to make it up. Come on, Dwight.
You got this, man. You got this.
Thank you.
All right, this one should be, again, an easy one for you two. Section 4, insane Roman emperors.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, question 1. Gaius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, the third emperor of Rome, is more popularly known by his nickname Caligula, meaning Little Soldier's Boot. His reign only lasted 3 years, between his ages of 25 and 28, at the end of which he was assassinated by his own guards and member of his court due to his chronic and notorious insanity. The question is, which of the following scandals was not attributed to the deranged Caligula?
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to read these, and one of these is not attributed to him.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I like it.
Is it A, an aborted invasion of Britain, which ended with his army reaching the northern beaches of France and ordering them to collect seashells to bring back to Rome? B, he appointed his horse as a priest and then promised to make him consul, who was like prime minister.
Okay.
C, he publicly toyed with the idea of introducing a limited form of democracy into Rome based on the Athenian model.
Ooh.
D, he once ordered his guards to throw an entire section of the audience into the gladiatorial arena to be eaten by wild beasts because he was bored. Or E, all of these stories are attributed to Caligula.
Oh, man. All right.
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't decided, but go ahead.
No, yeah.
No. I'll remember. Go on. It's fine.
Okay.
I know some of those are true.
All right. Question 2. Nero, the 5th emperor, is most famous for presiding over the Great Fire of Rome in the year 64. Among the popular legends, it is asserted that Nero had the city deliberately burned to make way for a new palace, and that during the fire he was dressed in costume and played the fiddle from the roof of his existing palace. At the time, Nero denied these rumors and instead accused another group of having started the fire to discredit his rule. The question is, who did Nero accuse of setting the Great Fire of Rome? Was it A, Jews, B, Christians, C, his enemies in the Senate, or D, the Clinton crime family and the deep state?
I know what the classic answer is. All right.
Okay, moving on. Question 3. Commodus, the 18th emperor, is portrayed in a fictionalized account by Joaquin Phoenix in the 2000 film Gladiator. While Gladiator takes many liberties to tell a modern sword and sandal epic, I must have been really drunk when I wrote that. One detail is true. The Emperor Commodus styled himself as a gladiator and fought several times in the Colosseum. The question is, which of the following feats is Commodus supposed to have done in the gladiatorial arena? A. Decapitated a running ostrich with a specially designed dart. B. Killed a lion with his bare hands and ate its heart.
But I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. Which one of these is true, or one of these is not true?
One of these is true.
Okay.
So which of the following things did the Emperor Commodus do while posing as a gladiator in the arena?
Okay.
So the first is decapitate the running ostrich.
Okay.
The second is killing the lion with his bare hands, eating his heart. C. He had an elaborately staged orgy, which included members of his own family. Or D. He lost in a duel with a father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife.
I don't know if I can really even appreciate that last one. Lion, it doesn't sound likely, unless he was sedated or something. Oh, man. All right, I got it.
Chris, you good?
Yeah.
You're just gonna make up your answers at the end.
No, I just, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna give it a shot. I gave it a guess.
All right, question 4. Maximinus Thrax was the emperor who presided over the start of the crisis of the 3rd century, a period of several decades of internal conflict and civil war in the empire. Elected to power by the legion he served with, Maximinus was a common soldier who had risen through the ranks and became the first emperor with no family ties to the Senate or the equestrian nobility. The question is, how tall was Maximinus Thrax?
Ooh, okay.
Was it A, between 5 and 6 feet tall, B, between 6 and 7 feet tall, C, between 7 and 8 feet tall, or D, over 8 feet tall?
No. This is a long time ago. You telling me this guy's 7, 8 feet tall? He's a big guy.
I'm saying according to historians. So let's put it that way. Right. According to historians.
He played shot put. He ran track. Should have seen the guy in the court. He's an animal. All right.
Let's move on. The final question of the section 4. Flavius... I can't even say his fucking name. Flavius Honorius was one of the last Roman emperors of the West, notable for presiding over a heap of crumbling ruins and moving his capital twice, first to Milan, then to Ravenna. The second move was precipitated by the invasion of King Alaric I of the Visigoths, who stormed through Italy and laid siege to Rome itself in the year 408. When Alaric came to Rome, he ransomed the city in exchange for 5,000 pounds of gold, 30,000 pounds of silver, thousands of garments, and 3,000 pounds of what other precious commodity? Was it A, copper, B, horse meat, C, pepper, or D, myrrh?
Oh, I do like myrrh.
What was the quantity? 4,000 pounds?
3,000 pounds.
3,000 pounds. And what was the last one? I'm sorry.
So the answers are again, A, copper, B, horse meat, C, pepper, and D, myrrh.
You do like the Visigoths.
I'm a big fan. Speaking of junk coins, I was looking at lots of junk Visigothic coins you can buy on eBay. They're all uncleaned.
I was thinking today, since I got a little bit of money coming in, I want to see how much I can get one of those Trump beat COVID coins for.
All right, I got it.
We got our answers locked in?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right, let's get that locking sound effect again. Final answers are in. Okay. So, question 1. Caligula. Which of the scandals was he not accused of having done?
He did it all. He's a freak.
Well, I was torn between E and D, and I went with D.
The answer is C. The idea that he toyed with introducing a limited form of democracy. In fact, there was a plot when he was killed to restore the Republic, but that was quickly thrown out. All the other things he was accused of doing, though. And again, these were all attributed after his death. We don't know for sure the extent of them, but it does seem likely that Caligula was quite mad.
God, I thought you were going for a he sells, she sells by the seashore thing, too.
No, he did that. He really did that. Oh, again, it's attributed to him, so who knows?
Freaking a weirdo. All right, keep going.
Okay, question 2. Nero, the fire of Rome. Who did Nero blame for the fire?
I said Christians.
The enemies in the Senate.
The correct answer is B, the Christians. And after the fire, many Christians were arrested and brutally executed by being thrown to beasts.
I crossed it out.
Nero eventually was later chased out of the city and committed suicide. He was the first Roman emperor to do so.
Sorry, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, question 3. Commodus. Which of the following feats did he do in the arena?
I said the lion thing. Go to lion.
I did the weird orgy thing.
You did?
Nope. It was actually A. He decapitated a running ostrich with a specifically designed dart, and then he held up the ostrich's head to the Senate in the crowd and gestured, meaning like, "Hey, I'm going to do this to you."
I almost went with that, but that just sounded so unimpressive. I could kill an ostrich.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
With garden shears.
Have you guys not seen Gladiator? I thought the whole tell was that he wasn't actually good at doing this stuff.
I saw Gladiator as a kid and never again.
That was I thought the D answer would have elicit more of a laugh.
Well,
father to a murdered son,
I thought was related
wife.
to the movie, but that wasn't.
Well,
I was caught up in the fact that I was dumb and I couldn't place that or figure it out.
No, it's just the line. It's Russell Crowe's line. From
I don't know, man.
Movie.
Shane's really smart and Chris really knows this shit, and I come on, man.
I mean, this is just Wikipedia stumbling around. This is not information recall or something.
All right. What you got? All right, go on.
Okay, question 4. Maximinus Thrax, common soldier, became emperor. How tall do we think he was?
No more than 7 to 8 feet. You got to be crazy. Was it that guy Robert Wadlow or something like that? Was 7'10", and that's the tallest person ever.
I believe he was 8'10", but that was in the 1900s.
All right, so you're going with C.
I don't know.
You're going with C?
I also put C.
The correct answer is D, over 8 feet tall. Again, this is attributed after to him, but apparently, by other accounts, Maximinus was also illiterate, and he never once stepped foot in Rome. He ruled as emperor of the Roman Empire for 3 years, based out of his home of Illyria.
Well, in fairness, he was too far away from the paper to parchment, perhaps.
I got it.
All right. Oh, boy.
Okay. The last question. Alaric, first king of the Visigoths, laid siege to Rome, asked for a bunch of shit in exchange. What was the additional garment on top of the additional commodity on top of the gold, the silver, and the garments? 3,000 pounds of...
Chris, I'll let you go first.
I said copper.
It's got to be pepper. It's got to be a spice.
The answer is C. It is pepper.
Oh, there you go.
And all I have written here is, that's one spicy meatball.
Yes. Well, according to this, the closest I'm ever getting to Italy is the meatball, because I don't know shit about it, apparently.
Okay, so we have one final section. Do you guys want to tally up your scores one more time to see where we stand?
I got 11, I think.
I'm at 9. A proud 9. Can I say proud 9?
I thought you caught up with one.
Yeah, well,
Then he lost it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he lost it again, okay.
Oh,
it's all right, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right.
The last section is anyone's game, okay?
All right, ready.
Okay, so this one, again, you guys should be able to get, okay? The title of this section, Section 5, is Movies Only I Have Seen.
All right.
Okay, question 1. The 1993 film Freaked, directed by Alex Winter and Tom Stern, is a satirical comedy film about an up-and-coming young actor, Ricky Coogan, played by Alex Winter, who becomes the spokesman for the evil, slimy megacorporation EES, Everything But Shoes. The reason EES seeks to hire Coogan is to improve their corporate image, specifically surrounding a new chemical product which is harmful to the environment, people, and everything it touches. What is the name of this chemical product? Is it A, Zycom 5C, B, Zygrot 24, C, Zyklon B, or D, Ziggy Piggy Goo Goo?
So they were in on this joke. Okay, got it.
All right. Moving on, question 2. Critters 3 from 1991 is the third installment in the Critters franchise. A departure from the first 2 Critters films, it does not take place in the sleepy Kansas town of Grover's Bend, but instead, most of the film takes place in a slum tenement in Los Angeles. The film is notable for being the feature film debut of Leonardo DiCaprio, who was a teenager at time of filming and release. Critters 3 is also notable for adding what innovation to the franchise? Is it A mega critter ball, where a bunch of critters come together in a ball and roll around the town? Is it B, the introduction of a female critter? C, a farting critter? Or D, a critter who wears a suit and tie and goes to work in an office, like the brainy gremlin from Gremlins 2? Locked in?
All right. Yep. All right. Yep. Got it.
Question 3. The film Lawnmower Man, 1992, shares its title with a 1975 Stephen King story. The author sued the filmmakers due to the film's divergence from the original story. While both stories involve a gardener that operates a lawnmower, what key element of Stephen King's short story is missing in the film? Is it A chimpanzee trained with a VR headset in order to become a military super soldier? B, a satyr who makes human sacrifices to Pan as part of his lawn mowing services? C, a comic book superhero cyborg named Cybo-Man? D, a final showdown between the Lawnmower Man and a mad scientist whose digital body is then crucified?
Shane, you got me with this one, buddy.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna do D for Dwight.
Just a total. I mean, yeah, statistically, you have a 1 in 4 shot. I guess I'm just guessing it. Okay. All right, question 4. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors from 1987 features the return of the character Nancy Thompson, the last surviving Elm Street child from the first film. Now an adult, she works at a mental institution for sleep-deprived teens, all of whom are haunted by her nemesis, Freddy Krueger. In order to stop Freddy, Nancy teams up with Kristen Parker, who has the ability to pull people into her dreams. This character would go on to be featured in the 4th installment of the franchise, but the actress who first portrayed her would not reprise the role. What young Hollywood starlet would forego her continuing role as Kristen in order to pursue a much more lucrative career outside of the horror genre? Is it A, Patricia Arquette, B, Denise Richards, C, Winona Ryder, or D, Kirstie Alley?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now for the final question of this section, movies only I have seen, and the final question of tonight's round of trivia. Question number 5. The 2019 film Joker features a new take on the classic Batman villain Joker, played by Joaquin Phoenix. Over the course of the film, Phoenix's Arthur Fleck at one point kills 3 Wall Street brokers on a subway car. He shoots them in the head with a gun. This sets off a chain of events in the city, leading to a new political movement with its own slogan. What is the slogan of that movement? Is it A, eat the rich, B, kill the rich, C, shoot the rich in the head with a gun as soon as you are able to,
Okay.
D, ameliorate the tensions between the rich and poor by finding common ground and developing new solutions and opportunities to meet the challenges of the 21st century?
Wow.
All right. So now let us see what you guys came up with. This is again the score is 9-11.
Yes.
Am I correct in that?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
All right. So, Dwight, you got to pick up at least 3 points over Chris.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. No,
to make it out.
All right.
So let us start. Question number 1. In the movie Freaked, with the evil corporation, what is the name of their horrible chemical product?
I'm gonna go with A, the Zycam B.
I also went with A.
The correct answer is B, Zygrot 24.
Oh man.
All right.
Freaked also stars William Sadler as the diabolical CEO of the EES Corporation. Fans of Alex Winter will recognize Sadler as the actor who portrays Death in the Bill and Ted franchise. Star Trek fans will also remember him as the shadowy director of Section 31 from the series Deep Space Nine. I wrote these while very intoxicated, and so you're gonna have to really interrupt me. Otherwise,
by the way, this movie was also explained to me by you in Philadelphia in August.
That's why I thought you might be able to get it.
You grade this on a curve. Okay, go on.
Okay. Question 2. Quitters. Wascally Wabbits. Fuck.
Question 2. Quitters.
Question 2. In Critters 3, in addition to being the Leo we know and love's first feature film, what other innovation did it bring to the Critters franchise?
It's got to be the corporate critter. I've been 90s, I see that.
I don't even remember which one it was, but I put A.
Okay, the Mega Critter Ball?
Yeah, the Critter Ball.
You're both incorrect. It is actually C, a farting critter.
Okay.
Oh.
Critters 3 would be the worst Critters movie if it were not for Critters 4, which stars Brad Dourif, one of my favorite actors. Carrie also wants me to add that this is the first Critters movie where a cop is not killed by a critter.
That's a shame. I mean, I find that culturally interesting as far as film goes.
Right, exactly. Just as a movie factoid, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So now we are on to question 3, Lawnmower Man. The film adapted very, very loosely from the Stephen King short story. What element from the original short story is entirely missing from the film?
It's got to be, well, D for Dwight, so that's the celebrated cyborg or whatever.
No, that's the final showdown between the Lawnmower Man and a mad scientist whose digital body is crucified.
Yes. Yeah. Crucify the scientist or whatever.
Okay.
I put whatever B was, the pagan guy, the Pan sacrifice.
The satyr, yeah. Chris is correct. It is the satyr. The paranormal element is not present in the film. This is one of the most hilariously awful bad movies I've ever seen. I do recommend it. However, purchasing Lawnmower Man 2, Job's War, also known as Cyber War, was one of the greatest regrets of my adult life. It's horrible. It's just boring. Totally uninteresting. Question 4 is the Nightmare on Elm Street question. Who played as Kristen Parker in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and did not reprise the role but went on to have a successful career otherwise?
Now, I have seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, which is, I think, the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And I do know that Kristen Parker was played by Patricia Arquette.
I put Patricia Arquette, but I've never seen any of this shit.
You're both correct. It is Patricia Arquette. It's her first role. She's great in it. And as Chris said, it is the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie. And it's also the first one where Freddy says bitch. He says, "Welcome to prime time, bitch." Best line in the movie. Probably the franchise.
Okay.
And then the last question, number 5. You guys both got this, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's Kill the Rich.
I did, yeah.
That is correct. It is Kill the Rich. Dwight, could you do me a favor and just read the answer C out loud into the camera, though?
It was a little fuzzy. I think you broke up or something, or my headphones screwed up. I'm not entirely certain I could do that.
Okay.
But I did find it to be very interesting.
Again, this is movie trivia. There's no bearing on anything in the real world. This is just an interesting factoid from a fun film.
Any problems we found, like as Sam Knight pointed out today, in Boston, Massachusetts, where the fascist cops were caught on camera saying how awesome it was that they hit, Black Lives Matter protesters with their car. Massachusetts is one of the most deep blue areas in the nation with a super majority of Democrats. What I'm saying is we can just vote these problems away instead of doing what C said. I'm just saying, vote.
You're advocating for D, ameliorate the tensions by creating common sense solutions.
Yes. Use our, existing bicameral government structures and all that stuff. Yeah. That's correct.
All right. Well, that is the end of trivia. I guess Chris won, right? What's the final score here?
Handily. I have 11. No, I got 12. Wait, hang on. 3 plus 3. 6. Plus 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. Okie dokes.
I just lost count, but I think I have 14. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
you're just guessing. I mean, probably. Yeah.
No, I literally just counted and then forgot. So yeah, I have 14. Yeah.
All right. Well, Chris,
there we go.
You win, well and that means you
get to eat a Rocky Mountain oyster.
Yeah. In front of the other two of us on live stream.
I love it.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed these trivia questions.
So I got to do one of these now too. I'll do one of these.
Yeah. I mean, I designed them specifically to fuck with you. I hope that is much as clear. But I still hope you had a fun time.
And a big thank you to the Quizmaster. Thank you, Mr. Shane. Much appreciated.
Hey, well, I got some answers over here.
Hey, Jimmy the Two-Tone. What was his name in France? Jimmy.
Jimmy de Jolanco or some shit. It's hard to write these and to keep them like sort of serious questions, but also wanting to inject a little bit of a fun and flavor for the holiday season.
All right. Wow, let's fucking get going.
If you have your own scores, be sure to let Dwight and Chris know that you beat them.
Any Rocky Mountain oyster recipes, send them to Shane.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so long, folks.
Stay cool.